What's up, Why We Rollers? It's Chris here. Just letting you know that we are currently live on Kickstarter this Witchtober with Danse Macabre, medieval horror role-playing. This is a game that we've been working on for a long time. I've personally been working on it for a couple of years now, and I am just so proud to be bringing it to Kickstarter to share with all of you. So if you are into medievalism, if you are into zombie apocalypse narratives, if you're into brutal OSR combat, this is the game for you. So head on over to stillfleet.com/Danse, D-A-N-S-E, to follow along with the project, give it a back, pick up some beautiful books. We have the core rulebook, of course, as well as the Guide to the Abandoned World, a huge setting supplement that covers places outside of the medieval Mediterranean. We also have Unsunken Paris Below by my wonderful co-host, Wythe Marshall, which is a kind of a big city/mega dungeon setting. And we've also got Reliquary, which is a GM guide for relics and treasures and all kinds of goodies that you can find within the game. So check it out at stillfleet.com/Danse, D-A-N-S-E. Welcome to Why We Roll,
a tabletop role-playing game design podcast by the Stillfleet Studio.
We're your hosts, Chris Pickett, creator of the historical fantasy game Danse Macabre,
and Wythe Marshall, creator of the political sci-fi game Stillfleet.
Through the show, we hope to amplify new creative voices.
We chat with different indie TTRPG designers, talking through a range of questions that are pertinent to many designers, players, and GMs.
We hope to showcase fresh and even challenging ideas about what makes imagination-based games so powerful.
Before we introduce today's guest, a reminder. If you enjoy this episode, please consider supporting the show and all of our games over at patreon.com/Stillfleet.
Okay, let's find out why we roll.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a very special edition of Danse Macabre Actual Play Live. We got another streaming game with another crew to celebrate the release of the game on Kickstarter, the launch. We're here with the creator, as always, Christopher Pickett. And today's special crew is, and we'll probably say this a number of times, and we'll do some shout-outs throughout the show, but just three of the hardworking folks over at Kickstarter who are part of Kickstarter United, the union of workers who actually make Kickstarter run, which does support pretty much the whole tabletop industry, let's be real.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we love working with Kickstarter, and we support workers everywhere who are on strike against management and making very reasonable requests. And we think, this is a good platform to mostly have fun, play a game about fighting mutant zombies in an apocalypse, but also maybe learn a little about organizing and what Kickstarter employees are up to along the way. So with that, I think we're going to kind of dive right into the game. And then when your character comes up, please also introduce yourself. And it's a great time. It's always a good time to plug Kickstarter United and the Strike Fund, which you can access via the QR code in the top of the screen. So you can use that QR code to get to the GoFundMe. I will also put it in the chat. And we'd really appreciate it if anyone watching, if anyone watches this, the next day, if you can spare a little cash, whatever you got to help our fellow proles or our fellow workers, continue their strike. So with that, we're going to start playing. But if you hear plugs throughout, that's a feature, not a flaw. So the year is 1390 CE. We sort of imagine a camera panning over a great medieval city, vast. Once full during Roman times, then depopulated, and now full again, because it's been 30 years of an apocalypse of sorts, a revelation, a new world, in which the dead no longer stay dead. They rise again with mutations, and eventually, after too many deaths, lose their minds and become ravenous demoniacs. So in this new world, in this new order, several things about history have sort of changed, and one of them is that Constantinople, the queen of cities, the largest city in sort of Eastern Europe, Western Asia, is now jointly ruled by the Ottoman Turks, who might have conquered it otherwise, and by a rump state of Greek Byzantines. They call themselves Romans, but they speak Greek, and they have together a diarchy, a dual crown that is divided up among sections of the city between the Ottoman nobles, the Timariot, and the Byzantine nobility. As we sort of zoom down, we're headed into the western part of the city where the Timariot, the Ottoman nobles, have their palaces. This is more rural, this sort of urban farms. And the recently resettled Ottoman refugees and military who fought against the ravenous hordes, the demoniacs, at the beginning of the abandonment when no one really knew what the hell was going on. Today, we're zooming into the palace of one of these nobles, and we see that there are 3 travelers, 3 pilgrims, as they're called, who have brands on their necks. They've been branded, they have been accused and found guilty of crimes by the dual churches, the Canticum Aeternum of the Byzantines and the Ulema of the Ottomans. And they are here to report for duty as pilgrims to undertake a quest. This will give them penance in the eyes of their god. And it will also legally allow them to rejoin the city and be citizens in good standing, conduct business, travel, etc. So as you enter beyond the walls, there's many janissaries about and many just servants. You enter a courtyard with a beautiful fountain. And seated along the edge of the fountain on a bench, big marble bench, is a 60-year-old man, not terribly tall, but in very good shape. Somewhat stout, just as he's getting older. It's just dense. Who looks very neat. He's trimmed robes, nothing too ostentatious, but he's clearly rich. And this is Kara Mustafa Pasha, the Pasha, the Timariot, who rules one of the areas within Western Constantinople that was taken by the Ottomans as the diarchy was forged, as this kind of new peace was found against the zombies. And he has summoned you here for your quest. Who has he summoned? And you can tell us what your character looks like. Again, feel free to introduce yourself and say something cool about Kickstarter United. I'm just going to call on Zan. Do you want to kick it off and then call on somebody else when you're done? So who's our first pilgrim that we sort of pan and see?
Sure, yeah. I'm Zan, part of Kickstarter United. I'm usually a software engineer at Kickstarter, but tonight I'm Alexios Bazasili, the owner of Bazasili's Soft Wares, purveyor of the finest wools, silks, and soft cheeses this side of the Bosphorus. I am a pot-bellied, middle-aged merchant, very cutthroat, very ambitious. I have perhaps too many garments on, like I'm a walking kind of advertisement for my own goods. They're just like draped from my shoulders and my back and my arms.
Great. And do we see any visible maleficia mutations, or do you look, at least to the naked eye, like a human who's not died and come back from the dead?
So you might see some vomit that's like dribbling down from my cheeks and my chin, and there's some steam coming off it, like it's perhaps a little bit acidic. I have in fact died, but my maleficia is not incredibly visible at the moment outside of that one sign.
Excellent. Just a little dangerous vomit dribble, just a typical character thing in a role-playing game. Who do we see next aside Alexios?
I am Teddy, also a software engineer with Kickstarter. Tonight I'm Murad. I'm a peasant man. I worked under Alexios, doing some various tasks for him, and I'm generally like pretty skinny, not necessarily like well fed as it goes, as the peasantry go, you know. And on top of that, I'm also a very like tall. I have extra long legs, as it were, and very skinny from that perspective. So capable of moving pretty quickly. And I'm sort of dressed just in very basic, raggedy clothes. I haven't been able to maintain my clothes very well, but you know, they're well loved.
Excellent. So well loved clothes, Murad. And I think that leaves maybe Shubha. You can say who is also following Alexios into the company of the Pasha.
I am playing Zahira, who is a scholar who was exiled from the University of Paris, originally from North Africa, but made her way to the university, where she was, on her way to becoming a renowned scholar. And then the zombie apocalypse happened, and she kind of became obsessed with like studying zombies. And, the best way to study a zombie is by trying to make a zombie from a dead body. So she was it wasn't just her, there was a team of us who tried to, just take some bodies to turn them into zombies, or just to see how zombies are made and how we can fight them and how we can, cure zombieism. It's a noble cause. But apparently it's heresy to mess around with dead bodies. So she was exiled and had to hide in shame. But she found herself working for Alexios for Vasily Softwares because, Alexios doesn't ask many questions. He's just like, I don't ask him questions. He doesn't ask me questions. It all works out. Zahira has long, tangled, crazy hair, sunken in eyes, bit of a sort of Baba Yaga kind of look, long cloak. And for the Maleficia, if sometimes the cloak moves in just the right way where you can maybe see talons instead of feet, but then you're like, did I just see that? So you're kind of not sure what you saw, but potentially has talons for feet.
Very Baba Yaga. Potentially Baba Yaga. We love it.
Yes.
So sort of a witchy, company doctor.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly Murad's role. There's a fourth pilgrim with you. So who is accompanying Alexios, Murad, and Zahira to meet the Pasha?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Christopher Pickett. I am the creator of Danse Macabre, medieval horror role-playing, which is currently funding on Kickstarter. Before we jump in, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you coming on to play. I think it's going to be a good time. But standing, I think, kind of behind Alexios, giving him a little bit of side eye, standing next to Murad, you see a wizened, older peasant, very clearly a peasant from his dress. He's kind of stooping over, holding himself up using a spetum, a kind of forked spear, somewhat as a cane, holding up his weight as he stoops forward. And I think the first thing that you would notice about this fellow, whose name is Palladios the Elder, the first thing that you would notice is that he's completely shirtless. You can just see his ribs. I think much like Murad, very skinny, very underfed, as the peasantry goes in times of apocalypse. You can see his ribs. You can see the bones of his spine kind of sticking out from his back, all of that fun stuff. And as he stoops over, you see that right along his stomach, right where it kind of folds there, is actually a large, somewhat underdeveloped mouth that every now and then kind of gurgles and grumbles and grinds its own teeth, kind of independent of whatever Palladios himself is doing. He also has these extremely large ears that look like they're kind of halfway between an old man's human ears and those of a bat. So if you imagine kind of sticking out Count Orlok style, but he's got the big drooping lobes of a much older man. That's Palladios. He's a peasant. He was working as a porter at the docks, also technically working for Alexios for the soft wares company, until he was accused of stealing a shipment of wool, at which time he was snatched up by the Canticum Aeternum and forced into pilgrimage as a conscript.
Yeah, and at this point, you all are waved to sit by one of the Janissaries accompanying you on a bench, kind of accompanying. If you imagine these four benches around this circular fountain with this beautiful geometric pattern, a blue and white tile, and it's a little bit of a burble. You are seated next to this older fellow who is who's eating lunch and reading a book, and he's sort of ignoring you. He's reading a small, beautiful little book. And not until you're all seated will he address you. And at that point, he'll look at you all and then put the book away neatly, put the cheese away, Maybe he even has actually outdoors, like sitting on it like a pillow, one of the textile based, one of the things from Bassasili soft wares. He's got like a little sitting carpet basically that you would have sold. And maybe Alexios, you at least, or maybe you and Murad noticed that. Oh, he bought one of ours. And the Pasha turns and is suddenly very serious and just jumps right in. So he's a military man. He's retired, but he is. You never really retire, especially when you're appointed to basically governor of a district of the largest city in Western Asia. And so he says, Pilgrims, I've chosen you for very obvious reasons. I have a very delicate matter that I need someone to attend to, and you all need penance. You need to do something for the city. If you do this for me, you will be well in the clear. I will also see to it you are paid a little, some akçe, some silver coins for your troubles. You don't really have much of a choice, but I also think you are probably the right people for the job. And that to him, this seems perfectly obvious. He doesn't explain why. He needed a Baba Yaga with chicken feet, an old guy with a spear and a mouth on a stomach, and two sort of younger, this kind of merchant, and then a peasant with some bony spikes and an axe. But that's, he has all sorts of strategies happening. So he explains recently some of his exploratores, his spies, have reported that there is a plot to overthrow the diarchy of Constantinople and replace it with a group of rich foreigners, Italians. And he is worried that this is basically what at least some members of the powerful Facciones Guild, which is the kind of biggest meta guild, it's the biggest trade organization, really wants. And he wants you to investigate a specific leader within the Facciones and see if indeed this person is trying to foment rebellion or if something else is happening. He wants proof either way. This is not the leader of the Facciones, whom he does not think is involved. This is essentially the vice president of the guild, a rich and eccentric Venetian merchant named Girardino di Zorzi. And Girardino is a recluse, does not have a staff of servants, which is very odd for a rich medieval person. He's a minor noble who's made a lot of money in the shakeup of the apocalypse, the abandonment. And now he lives on the north shore of the Forden Quarter. So you're in the southwest of the city, and you need to be sort of in the northeast. And he lives in an old, squat, large, kind of crumbling early Greek Byzantine manor that has been partially remade into an Italian palazzo. So you are to basically work your way into the palazzo, however you can, and figure out, is Girardino di Zorzi trying to bring in an army of Venetians secretly to overthrow the Paramonii, the guards of the Byzantines and the Janissaries of the Ottomans. Either way, you're to report back to the Pasha and only the Pasha. And this is something that's very urgent and very important. So he's entrusting you with the fate potentially of Constantinople. Why is he sending in 4 mutants? This is not a task. You can't just send soldiers. They will be spotted. You have to send in ordinary folk and ordinary merchants who sell ordinary useful things, soft things. Well, everybody likes soft things, right? Who doesn't like to sit on soft things, put soft things on them, eat soft things? So despite the specialty nature of your guild, he trusts that you will be able to do the job. So do you understand? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I think Claudius will kind of nod sagely and say, yes, everybody loves the application of soft wares. Indeed.
My greatness, I can't help but admire the fine sitting cushion you have below you. I do have one question about this merchant from the Facciones. What is he a purveyor of? What does he sell?
Good question. This is one of the interesting things. The Facciones have their hands in everything coming into and out of Constantinople. They've managed to put us in a position where both my liege, the Sultan, as well as the Emperor must essentially work with them. And they've been efficient and fair, more or less. So we don't have a problem per se with the Facciones. We don't have a problem with organized labor. We have a problem, however, with this eccentric Italian who may be bringing in spies to foment sedition. And in fact, lately, he has moved away from the typical work of the Factiones' large shipments of raw materials coming in, some finished goods from the Western Mediterranean, many different spices from the Mamluk world, and of course from the great Silk Road that connects us with the greatness of Asia. However, he has now worked on becoming, he's gained a new title actually at court with the Byzantines, which is only appointed to him. There's a lot of these titles. It's almost like one day they will look back and use Byzantine as an adjective to describe an unnecessarily complex and badly run organization. Anyway, he is now an ultra mysticos. He is a secretary to the emperor in matters of the arcane. And he believes, which is why Zahira, right? That is your name, Pilgrim? That is why you have been invited. He believes that he has some special knowledge about demoniacs and the abandonment. Generally, people who say this tend to be drunk heretics, but we shall see. You will make your evaluation. Is this person a spy, a drunk, a heretic? There could be a diagram, and one day we will call it, I don't know, a Mustafa Pasha diagram that describes when different things intersect, yes.
Perhaps with multiple circles? Oh, yes.
I don't know. We'll make something better than a circle, but we will workshop.
We'll figure something out.
Yes. All right, with that, so I think mechanically, if you have other things, if you think there are secrets, this would be a time for a first roll. You can always roll Insight. So you have 4 scores in Danse Macabre, and one of them, Insight, represents your sort of intuition and logic. Maybe you know a fact about the situation. You could also try to convince him of something and get something out of him through fervor. You will get slightly different results, and he is going to oppose you, and he has different scores. So depending what you roll, I will roll a die and tell you what he says. If you're like, what's really going on here? Or give me the coolest sword you have, or whatever you want. So does anyone want to do anything mechanically before we just jump to you're on the road?
I'm a bit suspicious of his intentions and his justification for not using soldiers. Like perhaps he thinks we're dispensable and that's really the reason he's sending us. So I'd like to roll Insight to see if I can parse out whether there are secret intentions here that he's not telling us.
Yeah, please roll Insight. That's a great use. If you don't get a 1, I will tell you, I'll tell you anyway, he thinks you're dispensable for sure. But roll it and let me know if you get a 1, because then it's really funny and you're pretty convinced that he's a great guy.
I got a 7.
Great. He got a 2 to sort of try. So it's very transparent. He is essentially a general, a military governor. He's killed a lot of people, and hey, zombie apocalypse should happen. So he's sure that you are extremely dispensable. You happen to fit the bill of someone who has some kind of dealings, right? You've worked with the Factiones. It's everyone with any kind of sort of commercial enterprise has worked with the Factiones Guild. You might know Dizorsi. That could be a separate insight roll. But in the reason he's chosen you specifically, Alexios, is you are a highly dispensable petty merchant whom he can send into danger. And you might, be received by this more powerful merchant. And yes, he's posting on LinkedIn, medieval equivalent about need dispensable pet. That's basically what he did. He went to the church and said, who is accused of crimes? I will buy their quest, their pilgrimage. And then I will send them on what I want.
Okay. So deducing that he considered us dispensable, I think I'd like to, try to persuade him to send us with maybe some guards or just some kind of help to keep us protected.
Great. That's a fervor check. It's a great idea. And he's going to resist out of, why not? He doesn't like being told what to do by mere burgers. But yes, roll for it.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
Do you want to burn grit to boost this roll? Do you think it's important enough to boost?
Yes, I will add an additional, it was 3, 6, or 9, is that
3,
correct?
6, or 9 for a +3, +6, +9 bonus.
Okay. I think I'm going to burn 3. I'll burn 3 grit. So let me add another, sorry, the digital dice roller I'm using does not have, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and burn 6 because it has,
You're good. So the total would be 9.
So my total is 7.
Oh, okay.
It's just a flat 3. I thought I had to roll a 3-sided die.
No.
Okay,
You rolled and got a 3, right? So you burned 6, you got a 9 total. He got a 3. So a 6 is a success, and you beat him, and a 9 is a great success. So I'm going to say in this case, he sees the wisdom in what you're saying, Alexios, and he sends a whole squadron of Janissaries. There's a bunch of elite warriors who are going to accompany you. However, he instructs them they're not to do anything. I mean, this could start a war, right, among the factions of Constantinople. This could start a war with the Greeks. It could sunder the diarchy, which is the opposite of what he wants. And he could start a war with Venice, a powerful foreign, the biggest navy basically in the Med. So he says they're not allowed to do anything unless you can sort of, prove it to them. So if something really wild happens, they will immediately rush in. Mm-hmm. This was actually really smart thinking, Zan. If you had gone without them and then you yelled for help, you're in a big empty place full of poor people who also run away from monsters. But these guys are they'll come in.
Great. My greatness, I am eternally grateful.
The threat of a looming civil war sends Palladios back. He starts having flashbacks. This is a much older man. He was alive before the abandonment hit. And he is having a moment where he's remembering the Third Palaiologan civil war that tore Constantinople apart. And I don't think that he would say anything, but he's just sitting in the back, shaking his head and just muttering. He's like, this is a terrible idea. We're going to start it all up again.
Love a flashback to another, civil war among the Greeks.
One of three in the 14th century. Just fun history tidbit.
Who could have imagined that corrupt revanchist government would have eventually squandered all their wealth and been taken over by someone else? Anyway, that has no parallels whatsoever in our time, right, guys?
No.
Any thoughts, Teddy or Shubha, from Murad or Zahira, or do we want to cut to you're headed out?
I think the other piece of information Murad would be curious about is other property, or possibly if he is if he is bringing people in or whatever it would be, there might be somewhere else. Is there somewhere else we could look to find evidence of that?
Great. Roll insight.
I got a 5.
A 5. Okay, maybe you haven't been there in person, but I think Alexios and you have had dealings with the Factiones and with Dizorsi generally, and you know that his estate is very large. It's very old, and he hasn't really maintained it well. He has, on a 5, you don't know any specifics, but you know that it Constantinople's on a hill, and on sort of any side there's water. And if you sort of are at the end of the hill, you're just sloping into the water. So it's sort of on a cliff, and there's there's a few old buildings that go all the way back to Roman times, and those have not been kind of redone or modernized. So there's big empty buildings that he could use easily on his own estate. So while he could use Factione's buildings down in the harbor, it's more likely if he was doing something secretive, he would just do it on his own manner, basically.
And you said that was in the foreign quarter, right?
Yes, it's on the north edge of the foreign quarter, right on the Golden Horn. So it's sort of right on the cliff going down to the Golden Horn.
Gotcha. Nice.
So, Zahira, you are ready to lead these other pilgrims and report back. And
yes, I'm ready.
If you learn any secrets, you can debate them with the ulema, and if they're not heretical, blah, blah, blah. You know how it works. You can't do a heresy. Yeah. I care more about the military strategy. Yes. But anyway, he blesses you, and sort of looks at the others and, good luck. And, he goes back to reading his book and eating his lunch, and you are escorted the fuck out of the palace. We're going to cut to, the streets of Constantinople. Look, here's a little map. This is a draft map by, Christopher Pickett, who's in the game right now. Christopher Pickett, creator of the game. Based on lots of research. You don't have to know anything. So we're starting down in G in the middle. So that's the Exacionion Tamari. And we're going up to I, the foreign quarter. And we're going some sort of middle of G to very, very top of I, along this big east-west road called the Meze that links all the big forums, all the main sort of public places east-west in Constantinople. So you're just traveling around the Meze. And the way we're going to do this is a straight-up, old-fashioned, will there be a random encounter or not? Let's find out. Someone is going to make, one of you, an insight check for a special check called Navigate. And basically, depending on how you do on this roll, something may or may not happen on the way to the foreign quarter. Who wants to be in charge of navigating and looking out for, other factions, just muggers, basically,
Over the tabletop, over the table talk, I will say I have a very bad insight score, so somebody else should definitely take this one.
I've got all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, mine's also all right.
Yeah. I would say mine's bad.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I'll do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
I've been on the streets.
What does Murad find?
I've been on the streets, so.
All right. Well, you can roll. You can burn grit. But let us know what you get. You're looking for a 6 or higher, and then basically nothing bad happens.
I got a 4.
Okay. Do you want to burn 3 grit, or do you want to accept whatever a 4 means? So not disaster, but not great.
Yeah, I think I'll burn the grit. Give us a good start. So I'll burn 3 grit.
Great. I think maybe Teddy, you can describe how Murad does this. You see that there's a group of paramoni of Byzantine soldiers who are basically the city guard, but they're pretty corrupt. They're sort of their own faction, and they're definitely following you. Like as soon as they shouldn't even be here. The Janissaries should be patrolling the west, but they are basically here to follow you and figure out on behalf of some other faction, what the Pasha wants you to do. And you tell me, how do you get out of this by burning that grit?
Yeah, I think for Murad, he's used to being on the streets. So he's got a couple contacts, a couple of folks who are either like beggars or also out on the street. I think one of them sort of tips his hat towards Murad to sort of indicate like, hey, you got a tail. And so I think he'll sort of just like indicate to the other guys, like a little nod of his head to like duck down an alleyway and make her way sort of around.
Excellent. Love a tip from a friend. So a comrade, a colleague, tips you off, and you avoid getting picked up by the paramoni. And you travel through the crowds of the Meze. It's goes from early morning to mid morning. As you travel on the map here from G to basically, you can go straight to I, but you're going up and east into more Greek-speaking Constantinople. But of course, there's people everywhere speaking Turkish and Greek, and often now a patois both. Many people are speaking Armenian and other languages besides Bulgar and what will be sort of Russian and Ukrainian. You're going through markets, and there are people around. Does anyone want to say anything about how your characters feel as you travel into, possible danger, uncertain sort of area? Anything you guys would talk about amongst yourselves?
Yeah. I think Palladios, you hear his stomach growl, which is not the sound of hunger, but just the sound of him trying to get attention. And he kind of turns as they're walking to the other pilgrims and says, What's our plan here? We can't just walk up to a manor and expect to be let in. We need to have a story. We need a cover. My time as an alleged thief has taught me anything. It's that you have to get your story straight before you go in. What are we thinking here?
Perhaps we could indicate we have a trade deal to discuss.
Oh, yeah, we could play that angle.
Yes. We can present our wares. I mean, who doesn't want to buy soft wares? We have soft cheeses. We have soft blankets. We have soft rugs. Many soft wares that may interest them.
Do we have access to these soft wares, or were they confiscated when we were all arrested?
Yes, no, I have not had access to my wares. They're being held by the Pasha at the moment.
That's
Do we
how
perhaps
we got
have
that
a
pillow.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I just took it. He didn't.
I didn't recall him coming to the shop. Also, when you talk about your alleged thievery, let's not forget that you, in fact, did steal some of my wares.
Well, let's not forget that you, in fact, murdered me in cold blood. And then we were both arrested at the same time.
Seems fair to me.
Yeah, it's water under the bridge.
Yeah. Maybe some table talk. Do we have any money?
My character does not. I spent all of my Canticum allotted writ of credit on a shield and a spear.
Okay.
So I'm broke.
That would be in our inventory slot.
Yeah, it would list SP, silver pence. So in this setting, Acche in France, they had just came out with the franc right when the zombie apocalypse happened. So we just roll with it. They're still making francs. So depending on the setting, everyone used pretty much around the world at the time the same type of little silver penny. So it's character creation. You're a pilgrim, so even if you used to have some money, right now, you, as you said, you have no access to anything except what's on your sheet. You kind of go into like OSR mode, right? So you're like, you have whatever's on your sheet, that's it. So if you have some silver pence left over from character creation, it says whatever number with SP. Maybe at home you have more money, but you're not like allowed to use it until you do the quest. So if you have money on you, yeah, you can bribe people, buy stuff. Otherwise, no, you would have to bargain, steal, beg.
Okay.
Ask nicely.
Table talk. So, like, how much is, like, what is the value of a silver pence? Like, how much would be considered a good bribe?
I think, I don't know. That's a great question, Chris. I mean, like, one silver pence gets you like a good meal or something. So I think like 10 silver pence is a lot, right?
Yeah, it's literally like a silver penny, right? So it's basically equivalent to a penny, but you know, because we hadn't had the inflation that we're seeing in 2025, yeah, you can like get a decent meal for 1 SP. You know, there's like some goods that you can buy for just a penny. But, you know, there's also the opportunity, it's written into the game that even if you don't have currency on you, if you have like items in your inventory that you're willing to trade or to barter with, you can basically like trade in kind with them. So like on my sheet, I have a dagger that we all start with, which I assure you I will not be using. So we could try to get like, I don't know, like 5 SP for a nice quality Quillen dagger. Always an option.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. You can always trade. Trade was very common. And you're in, as you pass through the major sort of squares, the major forums of Constantinople, you are in places where you could stop and like start haggling. Mechanically, we could roll fervor, or if you want to just trade like 1-to-1, you can just, you know, basically trade in your dagger for the money. Yeah. If you just want to stock up on cheeses, you could just buy a lot of cheese. Mechanically, no effect, but I love cheese, so I bring it up pretty much every adventure.
That is true. I can attest to that.
Sorry, Chris. All right, let me know if anybody wants to, you know, do a thing. You can also retcon if it's small enough. Like, oh, I think I would have bought like one extra poultice, right? We have like poultices, salves, elixirs, so different kinds of medieval herbal decoctions that fill either health, grit, or pool, which means you can assign it to either health or grit. So really useful. Cool. But, you know, in terms of the flow of points, it's very hard to recover a lot of health or grit quickly. There was no modern medicine, so you get stabbed a bunch. You can like regain a little, and then you're just, you know, in pain. So it is, you know, a sort of a bit of a dangerous situation type game by design. So let me know if you want to buy anything. Otherwise, we can jump to, you arrive at Palazzo di Zorzi in the Foreign Quarter.
I think if we're going to impress this factionist vice president, I should probably have a shirt on. But I will warn you, my stomach mouth will chew it up probably by the time we get there.
I'm not sure if our meager possessions will barter enough for us to have goods that would impress this leader of the facciones.
I have 50 silver pence.
Whoa.
Oh. Well.
Don't ask me how I got it.
Big spender.
No questions here.
Mm-hmm. Don't ask. No questions. I'm not proud of it.
Looks like our midday meals on Zahira.
Mm-hmm. Don't ask me how I got it. That's the one catch.
I think Palladios, you know, if we're moving through a forum, if we're moving through a market, I think Palladios will like stop at probably like the dingiest looking, you know, tailor or clothier or whatever, to try to like give his dagger in exchange for like, I don't know, like a flax shirt, like a linen shirt or something like that, if that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ironically, even though you're traveling with textile importers, you stop at a different mercer, a different textile seller, and maybe you tell me, Zan, does Alexios just like stink eye the entire interaction, just like under the breath?
This entire move is out of spite, I will say.
Yeah, definitely. We've called it water under the bridge, but there's still some disdain.
Yeah. So yeah, Palladios, you have a fine dyed linen shirt from Flanders. The merchant's very happy to have this dangerous weapon that can pierce armor that ignores damage reduction in game terms.
All right. Can I stop by an apothecary?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so I already have some poultices on me, but I want to see if I can get some stuff to regain grit, because I feel like we're going to be spending a lot of grit.
Yeah, absolutely. You find an apothecary who will sell you basically whatever you want. But as soon as she sees your coin purse, she, almost channeling like the voices of others from beyond, asks, "How did you get so much coin? How are you so rich?"
I hiss at her. And then flash a little bit of Talon.
Why don't you roll?
Don't ask questions. Just take the money.
She will, but either way. But why don't you roll?
Just like
chicken angles. Roll a fervor plus vitality, and if you intimidate her in game terms, then you will get more stuff. Basically, I'm going to give her very low vitality but high fervor. More. All right. She doesn't like.
So my vitality plus my fervor. So that's D10 plus D8. Ooh. Okay,
what'd you get?
So I got 14.
Excellent.
14.
I got a 4. So you beat a 4 easily. So she'll take essentially any amount of money. I mean, if you give her 5 silver, she'll give you a good deal, basically.
Okay. I will give her 5 silver.
She gives you a theriac poultice, which is a sachet made of fermented herbs and serpent blood, and this will let you can consume it and regain D4 pool, so you can put that in health or grit. And if you want to buy more than that, just tell me how many you're buying, multiples of 5, and she'll give you multiple poultices.
I think, so for the 5 silver pieces, I got one of them.
I'll just say it's like 5 per.
How many do I add to my inventory?
How many do you want to buy? It's 5 per poultice. So she'll sell you a bunch, but
5 per poultice. I think I'll just get one for now.
Okay. Then you have one. You got a huge discount, an enormous discount. But this is, the height of medicine: crushed up snake parts and herbs. Maybe a little addictive. Let's find out. All right. Having traded a dagger for a shirt, picked up a poultice, terrified somebody, maybe some stink eye happening. I believe you've now passed through, along the Meze, passed through the big forums, and you are at the Palazzo di Zorzi in the Foreign Quarter. So, as you approach, you see that this area looks a little different. So the heart of Constantinople, in the center where everyone's out all the time, there's a lot of mingling, it's very dense, is generally very poor, other than the very well-guarded warehouses of various sort of merchants and various sort of political buildings, the basilica of the rulers of the city. In the east, there are the rich palaces of the Greeks, the Byzantines. And in the west, you have these kind of more like farm manors that the Ottomans have set up. That are very rich and well apportioned. You're going toward this sort of north, empty-ish sort of district where there's a lot of people who are not Greek or Ottoman, and they've kind of set up their own little houses, often kind of living together depending why they arrived together. In this case, there's just one merchant who seems to live alone, and he has a very large estate. So there's low walls, it's kind of squarish, and in the middle of the front wall, there's a little gatehouse. And you tell me, how do you approach? Let's say it's around 11:30 in the morning. And you are at the palazzo.
I was thinking, should we take a stroll around the perimeter? Just look for any Anything we can see from the outside, or gaps in the wall, maybe to sneak in and then make our way back around to the front?
Yeah, like a casual walkabout, just doing a little stroll. No big deal, nothing to see here.
Yeah, just casual stroll around the palazzo.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And then when we're ready to go inside, I think Alexios and Zahira should probably... Imagine I'm doing an old man voice. Alexios and Zahira should probably lead the charge. Maybe Murad, you and I, we've been coworkers in the past. We've worked together on the docks, porting, taking things back and forth, to and fro. They're going to see us for what we are, which is peasants. And if you look down, you see this like fine dyed linen shirt. Just has like a big wet mark right on the stomach. You can just tell that like the mouth has been slobbering inside of it. He's like, I mean, I can't do anything about that. But yeah, let's take a stroll. Let's do a walkabout.
Excellent. Is anyone trying to sneak, or are you just acting casual? We're meant to be here, just doing our job, walking around.
We're just confidence.
Yeah, just casual.
Swagger.
Yeah.
We're just like, what do you mean? Like, of course we're allowed to be here.
Yeah, why would
roll for swag? Right.
Why wouldn't we?
Roll for swag.
Great. Then so instead of rolling for swag, roll insight as you sort of inspect. And I'll tell you, you can go kind of two directions, but either way, you're sort of stopped by the fact that it's kind of built into a cliff that is going down into the Golden Horn, into the river.
All right. Who's rolling?
Everyone can roll.
All of us?
One, yeah.
Okay.
If we're all keeping our head
Cool.
on the level.
What was the attribute?
Insight.
Insight.
So you're just looking around.
Cool.
I got
a 5.
I also got a 5.
Okay.
Mine was
I
a
got
2.
5 as well.
3 5s and a 2. Okay,
yeah.
sounds like a 5 for the...
Sorry.
On a 5, you can tell that it would not be hard to, find a place to jump over the walls. They've fallen down enough. These are 1,000 years old. I mean, they're Roman walls. They're not that tall. This is not meant to repel an army. This is about, essentially gangs of toughs among other nobles back in the days of like betting on the hippodrome. Like essentially weird like soccer hooliganism, but with horse races that was used politically. So you can like jump over the walls at any point. There's a main house that's pretty big, squarish with a dome, which meant that it was a house for a noble. And it goes kind of far back. So that's kind of more rectilinear, whereas the whole layout is kind of squarish. And in the back of the back, there isn't really a fourth wall. There is instead basically little like gate towers and then sort of a fence that just goes down the cliff kind of unevenly. And there's little old trees and the landscape's changed a little. There's a little walkway and there's a 6-story tower. And the tower is pretty far down. It's like on the riverbank. So it's sort of, its top is like at almost the same level as the house. It's like maybe a little bit higher. But you can't really see it from the street. It's not like a grand tower of like the Hagia Sophia. It's just like, an old Roman tower. It's kind of squat looking, kind of like a lighthouse, but it wasn't a lighthouse necessarily. And also next to that would be like what looks like maybe a warehouse or boathouse. You can kind of see there's like a little rectangular building. So there's sort of 3 buildings, like a big main house, a tower, and a boathouse. In addition, there's the walls, and the walls have little gate houses. They're not even really houses. They're just kind of rooms in the wall where a soldier or somebody could sort of post up at each of the corners and the main gate. You don't see anyone or hear anyone on a 5. Maybe there's some birds. Imagine insert appropriate bird for Constantinople milling about, and definitely some cats. Look, there's cats. We know there's cats. Cats are meowing. You don't have to roll to pet a cat. You just pet a cat.
I pet a cat.
Okay, great. You die. No, that's all right. The cat's nice.
You can track the plague from an ectoparasite. Die.
This would be like the Oregon Trail version of...
That's okay.
DM,
You'll come back to life in a few hours.
It's fine. It cancels it out.
Yeah, just have to wait a little bit.
What's the thing they have in the amoeba in their blood that makes our brains love cats? I don't know.
The toxoplasmosis.
Toxoplasmosis, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Roll vitality to resist becoming a cat person.
All right.
What do you want to do at the palazzo?
Well, friends,
Besides pet a cat.
yeah, spend a half hour petting cats, and we'll get back to the mission.
Seems like a good use of time to me.
It's mid-morning. We've got all day. Well, friends, I can conceive of two ways to approach this. We could go through the front door and try diplomacy. We could try to sneak down to the tower or that warehouse down there. If there is something fishy going on, it's almost certainly happening by the water.
Yes, I don't hesitate to suggest splitting the party, but would it make sense for Alexios, you and Zahira to perhaps go through the front door and distract our merchant friend, while Palladios and I make our way around the back?
I see the wisdom in that.
Yeah.
Zahira, Palladios.
Yeah.
I don't think
Great.
any harm can come from splitting the party.
This never goes poorly in any form of media I've ever seen. Any of the chansons de geste I've ever heard from south of France,
No.
anytime they split the
No.
party, it goes well.
Cut to Palladios.
Divide
drunk
and
with,
conquer, as they say.
Yeah. Palladios is listening to a chanson de geste, and just when they get to the part about never splitting the party, Palladios asleep, drunk asleep. Cut to another night. Yeah, night after night. Different storytellers from the Mali Empire, from Egypt, from India, all telling the same story, never splitting the party. Every single time, Palladios is out before the second act.
I have a hard time at 9:30 p.m. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. So, which is Group A, and where do you want to do first? Do you want to do sneak around or front door?
Yeah, I think Murad and Palladios are Group B for sure. So maybe the logical starting place is to start with the start where we start, right? With a bit of distraction.
With the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can do.
Great. Then Alexios, Zahira, you're going to the front gate and just looking out for someone there. You hear what do you do? Do you yell anything? Do you knock? I mean, there's not, there's like a iron gate and a wooden door in little slits. There's like a gatehouse inside the wall where someone can look out and see you.
Do we see any guards or anything like that?
No, it seems empty, but you can't really see that well. And there could be somebody in there. There's like probably a room beyond you couldn't see through the slit. Do you want to yell, knock?
We could.
Some other thing.
Why don't we knock?
Yeah.
A secret third thing.
We sing
great.
up to them. We serenade them. No. Yeah, we'll knock on the door.
Okay, yeah. Use a knocker next to the gate for this purpose. It looks like some whatever the symbol of Venice is. I assume it's an eagle. I think all these cities were fighting over the legacy of like eagles and Rome and stuff. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a fish or something. You knock, and you don't hear anything at first, and then you hear wild, frantic running. And it sounds like someone smallish is running up to the door, and you hear sort of out of breath in very thickly accented, Latin accented Greek, someone say, go away. They sound very young. It's like, go away.
I'll call out to them and say, we have business. We have business with the lord of this estate. Di Soresi, was that his name?
Dizorsi.
Dizorsi.
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah. Do you you hear what sounds pretty obviously like a child telling you that Dizorsi, Master Dizorsi is not seeing anyone today or just in general.
He was expecting us. He's requested us to come.
Roll fervor.
Okay.
And actually, let me ask, Shubha, is Zahira just kind of listening, like trying to figure out what's happening here?
Yeah.
Then you could roll insight and see if you just sort of pick up on the vibes.
Okay. Ooh, I got a 6.
Excellent. Zan, what did Alexios get on that fervor check?
I got a 5.
5? Okay. I mean, the kid, it sounds bored and would like to do what you're saying, but is terrified. I think, Zahira, you understand that this is, this is a probably an orphan, like a kid who doesn't have a lot of choice in the matter, who is being sort of paid to just turn people away just indefinitely, and could be punished, also could get in trouble if they disobey.
Okay. What if I offer this child a silver pence for letting us in?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a 5 fervor. Let's say the silver pence is kind of a +1. And so the kid sort of pops up, and she sort of is like, you see like a little hand through the slit, which was probably, a murder hole, a murder loop for shooting someone with like a crossbow through a wall. But she just sort of pokes a little tiny hand out. Like an adult hand wouldn't even fit.
Mm-hmm. I drop a little silver pence in her hand, and I'm like, "It was a pleasure doing business with you. Now let us through."
You hear kind of giggling and the feet running away. And you don't hear any unlocking of the gate, but you are down that silver pence.
Goddamn kid.
Murad, do you feel that? That was the feeling of somebody being had.
A good feeling for sure.
If you want, you could try to lift the gates yourselves, knock it down. You could also, like, say, climb over the walls. You don't hear anything else. You don't hear servants talking beyond. You don't hear a kid reporting to anyone. You don't hear soldiers. It's almost like if you listen really hard, there's just no one in the courtyard. There's no one around other than one orphan who, like, camps out there in return for food.
I wonder if, now that the orphan ran away, if we could, like, maybe, like, pick the lock or bust through the door some other way.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's just try to push it open.
Let's just try to push it open.
Yeah, I mean, the door is heavy and it's barred and all that. But I think, like I said, you would realize after a moment, you don't need to knock down the door. You could just climb the wall. There's parts where it's falling and you can just find a handhold and go over the wall somewhere that's not. It's just like the one place that would be hard to get through. You would need like a battering ram, but any of the rest of it, you could just go over the top and it's not a big deal.
So we just climb over it.
Excellent. You find yourselves in a big empty courtyard. It once was probably full of tents of supplies coming in and out, and sort of encampments. There would be, people visiting, some of whom would be like, basically like the soldiers would be out here in tents, like in a barracks, as opposed to living in the house. And there'd be people washing clothes. You might see remnants of that, like a wooden bucket kind of rotting in a corner, but it's pretty empty. It almost looks like no one lives here. You see that big main house. The house itself looks pretty nice. It's been done up proper. It is an old house. It's that old Roman style where it's just like a box. It's like a gray box with a dome. But it would have an atrium inside, so there'd be like a big sort of sunroof in the middle, before the dome. And it has built out in the back like a little sort of tower of what would be a chapel. So it's, there's a Christian era addition. It looks nice. It's got a front door that does not look as, it's just a normal door. Do you want to walk up? Do you want to knock? What's your vibe? This is, again, I'm sorry, I'm realizing this is just like every D&D story ever. Like, there's a door, then there's another door. But this is also realistically kind of what this place would have looked like. So,
okay. I think we will knock on the door again, and this time if an orphan answers, we do not trust her.
Door swings open.
Oh.
It's open, and no one answers. There's no sounds. If you're looking around for the orphan, I mean, you kind of get this sense that she's in the walls. She's like in the gatehouse, and there's maybe like even a passageway through the walls from sort of gatehouse little thing to gatehouse little. So she's like in one corner in a different room, huddled up.
But the door just swings open.
Yeah, you're looking into the atrium of a very fancy old house that has been redone with nicer sort of inside is like lined with wooden panels, and there's nice carpets, and beyond there's lots of plants, and there's a little water feature. There's like a sort of trough for catching rain, and plenty of little places to sit, little nice kind of stools, little tables, and you don't hear anyone. Again, you don't hear servants. These are actually hard carpets, not soft carpets.
I kind of like kick at the carpet and turn my nose up to it. Not quality carpet.
Not quality.
As we walk in, I'm just going to call out and say, "Hello, hello. Is anyone home?"
Great. How loud are you are you like like you just said, or are you like really making a big deal?
No. I'm as loud as I can be. I'm used to making my presence known when I walk into
Great.
a space.
Then you hear sort of slow footsteps coming towards you through the back of the house. And at that, why don't we jump to the other side of the Scooby-Doo team? Where are Palladios and Murad?
I think we want to go for the tower, right? So
Yeah.
whatever portion of the wall is closest to the tower to make our way down that way.
Yeah. Probably marginally closer to the north sort of fence. So you know, when the wall stops being a wall, it's just like a fence down a cliff. You can just hop that, and you're sort of picking your way along kind of uneven ground with little shrubs toward this big old Roman tower.
You said the tower itself is like kind of more on the beach. It's like down the hill a bit.
Yeah, it's not much. Yeah, it's like gravelly. Like it's just kind of some's muddy, some's gravelly. Not necessarily like a great place to do beachy activities, but it's a nice place to launch a little boat. And there are steps leading from the tower up to the back of the house. So you can kind of walk over to the steps and just walk down. Unless again you're trying to sneak. It'd be a little hard to sneak around noon with like shrubs that are 3 feet high. Like it'd be real Metal Gear action to like hide in them. But you tell me what the vibe is.
It's a good thing I brought my cardboard box.
I actually stopped myself from making a Metal Gear Solid joke earlier. I was like, it's time to gear our medals.
Oh, that's funnier though, Chris, to say it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, if we are like within the walls of the estate, if we're picking our way down this hill, I think it would probably behoove us to try to be sneaky about it, or at least like,
yeah, a little bit at least.
You know, keep our heads on a swivel, for sure.
Okay. Why don't you roll finesse if you're trying to be sneaky? Normally you need a 6 or higher. I'm going to say you need a 7 or higher to really sneak to the tower without, if there's anyone around, them seeing you.
Yeah, fair enough.
And let me know if you want to burn any grit.
I'm going to burn 3 grit.
Yeah, me too.
Going down.
Seems like the time for it.
Oh man, I'm glad I burned 3 grit. So I rolled a 4 plus 3 is 7.
I also rolled a 4 plus 3 is 7.
Nice.
We like slap hands in the air. And we're like peasant bros.
Yeah.
The old and young peasant bros make their way down to the tower, maybe somehow near the old heavy wood and sort of ashlar, just flat stone stairs, but not on them because you'd be very visible. So somehow you're in sort of like grass. Maybe you have like a impromptu ghillie suit you've made out of, you just like both pick up a shrub and put it on top of you. You make it down invisible to the tower, and the tower, there's something strange about it right away. You can smell very strong, pungent, acidic aromas that are very odd. It's not something that you would normally smell just walking around the streets of Constantinople, sort of chemically. And you also do hear soft scuttling sounds from way up. The tower's 6 stories, and it sounds like it's coming from the top movement. And that's, and there is no door. There's just an opening for a door, but the door is long since gone. So if you kind of peek in, you see there's stairs down and stairs up.
Oh, it goes underground.
Yep.
My. Yeah, I don't know, Teddy. What do you think? So we hear this sound. It doesn't seem like anybody is in kind of the first floor of this tower, right? But we hear a sound from above us. Should we go investigate? Should we report back? What's your thinking?
Yeah, I feel like maybe report back. Is there any other scoping we can do? Like if we other windows around the back or anything like that? That I don't want to scale the tower. That seems too risky. But
yeah, you know what? Choose whatever score you want, and they represent very different things. Like vitality is like literally just this weird obnoxious smell. But insight would be the most like, I am trying to deduce, what is happening here, and the two of you can roll and let me know.
Okay.
And this is representing some slight searching without going in and without being seen.
Gotcha.
Well, my vitality is my strongest suit, so.
Yeah. So it's a choice between vitality or insight, or can we?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I got a 9 for vitality, so.
I will also, I guess, roll vitality in this case. 7.
7. You both would know then that whoever lives here is using all kinds of rare substances, alkahests and other reducing, acids and bases, and is doing something medicinal with also dead bodies. You can smell cadavers, and you can smell sort of alchemical equipment. And you would know that this is, of the major branches of alchemy, trying to turn shit into gold that's not gold, and trying to bring back the dead or something, closer to option B here.
Marat, do you remember when that alchemist who was trying to create the elixir of life, when he shipped in all those goods from Crete, and we had to port them at the docks? I don't know. We had to bring them to and fro. This is a similar smell, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I think quite similar indeed. This lines up with that his claims of perhaps knowing something about the cause of the abandonment, or at least investigating, right?
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing, I don't cotton to necromancy. Maybe we should go back and report to our fellow pilgrims who think they're our betters but aren't.
Yes, quite.
Blow this whole operation up.
I will say also in a 9, you know that the smell is really strong from the calarium, from the basement, but you also smell this like lighter version of it that's mixed in with more almost like bestial like funk going up. So 9's pretty good result. So y'all sniffers are working just fine. Cut back to A team. Alexios is a hero. There are people approaching you without saying anything or responding in any way to whatever you say through the palazzo. You're in the atrium. What do you want to do about that fact?
Before that, really quickly, Wythe, where are our Janissary escorts?
They are behind you and will not go near the Zorsi estate. Like they will be across like catty corner.
Gotcha.
At the nearest like they find a reason to detain whoever is there, some Armenian family, and they're just drinking tea all day long, pretending to do something. Like they're not allowed legally to intervene unless you have very urgent need and sort of reason. You can't just be like, there's spooky stuff.
Got it.
They will not. You'll get in even more trouble.
It's stinky back there. You should do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. These are seasoned veteran soldiers who like only do what the Pasha says. They're not going to come out unless you sort of have a better, but if you want to lie to them or something, I guess realistically, like they're just guys, right? So you tell me they're across the street,
They're all just guys.
Yeah, they're all just guys at the end of the day. So the atrium connects the basilica, the lobby, to beyond a main sitting room, which is really the life of this manor, this Byzantine manor, that would be full of like nicer furniture and where a lot of people throughout the day would come and sit. They'd have meals. It'd be the main place that the rich family, so in this case, Dizorsi himself would sort of hang out. You can kind of see in the shadows, there's kind of not necessarily a door, there's like a screen from blocking, your line of sight from the atrium in. But you know that someone is going to enter that main room from a room beyond, from the sounds of the footfalls. So do you want to go say hi? Just stand cowering in fright?
I think we're going to walk in like we own the place, right? That's why we're the A-team, going through the front door.
We've come to talk business.
Mm-hmm. None of that sneaking.
Excellent. Roll finesse, actually, both of you, and I'm going to write down these results right here.
All right. I get a +1 bonus to all finesse checks for movement, so...
That would count, yeah.
Yeah. That's a 6 with my +1.
6 with a +1. Okay, great. And Zan?
And I rolled a 4.
4. Okay. So you walk in, and I think maybe you're having this pep talk is the sense I get to each other about how you're important. You're like a professor of university or something. Alexios is an important small business person, And as you're saying that, you see a line of multiple young men and women in foreign dress. They're dressed like well-off Italians. And they don't look so good. They have, one of them has like a hyena-like maw. A couple of them have sort of horns or antlers. And they're sort of dragging parts. And they all are missing at random, basically, either an arm or a leg. And so the ones with one leg are hopping. So there's a line of 6 of them coming towards you. They all also are missing their tongues. So they're not even making noise other than the hop or the sort of schlep. A couple have like an octopus arm. They're making their way towards you in a line, not saying anything, not responding to your like, I own the place, I am a rich merchant appeals.
Please stay where you are. We've come to speak with Desorcy. Please stay there.
Great. You are getting attacked by a demoniac. So Alexios, a hyena-jawed, octopus-armed, one-legged Venetian person rolled a 9 to hit you. So the way this works is you can either take the damage, which I'll roll after, or you can burn 2 finesse to dodge, but you'd have to get a 10 or better.
2 grit to roll finesse to dodge.
I'm sorry, yes, okay. 2 grit to roll finesse, yeah. So to get a 10 or better on this roll is going to be probably pretty hard. So you might have just got bit in the face by a hyena guy while you were talking to him about trade.
Oh
no. I'm trying to see if I have anything on my character that would help me with that roll. I don't. So I'd have to burn 2 grit to even try to dodge.
Try, yeah. So depending what they roll, like if they rolled a 2 to hit, then it's very likely you would dodge. But in this case, guy rolled a 9. Like he just lunges, like huge jump right at you as you're talking.
I'll take the damage. I don't think Alexios is like used to this level of combat, so just blindsided.
Yeah. It's 9 damage as this guy bites your face with his hyena jaw, and is kind of slapping you with the octopus arm and with a human arm kind of hugging you. It's real awkward. He's very bad footing, so he sort of does a one-legged leap. And a couple things there. I mean, you take the damage, but how does Alexios feel? And also, what are both of you aware now that maybe these aren't like, assistant Venetian merchants or something? These, anymore, right? These are now something else.
I'm blindsided. I'm trying to get my wits about me, but that's also quickly replaced by anger at them not respecting my position as a well-known merchant in town.
Merchant of some note.
Yeah.
Well, it's Shubha. It's a hero's initiative mechanically. Yes. So you get to act next, and then Zan, it'll be Alexius's initiative. So we're in initiative. So we're rolling finesse, and then we'll go back to. I'm going to treat this as a horde, meaning mechanically these 6 people have one shared pool of health and grit that they burn. When they're out of grit, they can't dodge anymore. They always automatically dodge if they can. And when they're out of health, they're dead. So even though they have 6 bodies, they're just kind of like one group of like weird people you have to deal with because they have limited mobility and there's a lot of them. So with that, Shubha, what will Zahira do?
Okay. Can I do a recall roll to try to remember like what these demoniac's weaknesses are?
Sure. It's a free action, roll insight. If you have demonology, you get a bonus. Oh, great. So this is just like, what's up with these guys?
All right. I got a 5 plus 1 is 6. What's up with these guys?
On a 6, I'll tell you, these are a couple of things. On a 6, you notice they look like the kind of well-dressed but very much like in shape. Like these are clearly people who are not servants and they're not ordinary mercenary like guards. Like these are sort of younger, richer people who are here on, a mission that would conform with what Pasha had told you about the fact that the Venetians are sort of bringing in spies. Also on a 6, they've all been poisoned. You kind of notice streaks like they've recently been poisoned. You would know from your studies of the body. Mm-hmm. And in all the cases, the limbs have been sawn off and they've been sewed up. And so that's also something odd that you don't normally see. So a couple strange things. In terms of weaknesses, all you can think is that they've been poisoned, and maybe, anything related to further poisoning will slow them down. They all seem a little sluggish due to that.
Okay. Cool. So right now I'm standing right next to Alexios, right?
I imagine you're like in the doorway of the atrium and just going around this kind of moving screen, and Alexios was just like making a grand entrance, gets jump a bit, and you're like a step behind.
Okay. I am going to try to attack the guy who just attacked Alexios, and I'm going to use my raptor talons.
Excellent. So I believe, is that vitality or finesse? Chris, do you know off the top of your head? Does it say on the sheet?
It says finesse attack check.
Great.
Yeah, it counts. It counts as a blade, so it's finesse to attack.
Got it. Like a sword, but it's your hands or your feet. Rather.
Yeah.
Cool.
Foot swords.
Foot swords. Roll for finesse to do some foot sword.
All right. And then do I get the hypermobile bonus for this, or is that just not for attack?
Remind me again. I think hypermobile is just for movement.
Just for movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be like running away, jumping up and down.
Yeah.
All right. So just like a straight finesse check.
You're rolling finesse.
All right. I keep rolling 5s on my d6. Okay.
Great. They burn 2 grit and rolled a 2, so they lose some grit and do not dodge you.
Okay.
So you slash into them. So now you're going to roll damage and tell me the total. I'm going to take it out of the Horde's health.
That is a d4 plus my finesse, plus bleed 1. So
okay.
That is going to be... Okay, so that is a 1 on my d4, a 2 on my d6. So that's 3 damage plus 1 bleed.
Okay, great. So I rolled the bleed. They actually are bleeding, so they take another additional damage and another damage next round, basically.
Okay.
So they, you don't really kill any of these demoniacs, but you slash them up good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to add anything to how Zahira attacks with her foot swords.
I just kind of like jump up, and then like the cloak kind of like blows in the wind, like almost like wings, and I'm like, ah! And I just like, my talons are just on this guy's face.
Great.
I love how bestial Zahira is with only having this one maleficium, but you're like hissing at people and clawing like a crow, just like embodying the animal within. It's really good.
It's that university training, you know?
Yeah. Fancy university training.
You jump up and slash. Yeah, you've got the University of Paris sweater on. No,
exactly.
Zan, it's Alexios's initiative. This might be a real dangerous combat for the two of you on your own, but you're in a little circle of demoniacs trying to kill you. They don't have tongues, so they're all just kind of making like a very dry as they do whatever.
So we're fully surrounded. Like we couldn't try to.
You can try to run. Yeah, you could definitely try to run if you believe that's the move.
I'll turn like as if we were going to flee, but I'll take a swing at let's say that there's one in our way. So do I need to take an action to like equip my Morning Star basically?
Technically if you weren't holding it, but do you want to say you walked in with the Morning Star? I mean, it's a little aggressive for trade negotiations, but
well, when they were coming towards me, I had already reached down just in case.
Yeah, it's like a yo-yo or Newton's cradle. It's just a normal thing to be like,
Just it's like it's a really big fidget toy that you use.
Yeah,
helps you focus.
Exactly.
That's how I intimidate people in trade negotiations. I'm just like swinging around.
It's an accessibility accommodation. It helps it focus.
Exactly. It's medieval times. That could be a thing. So, if you're going to attack, you can move 20 feet and attack, but they're going to catch up to you, right? If you want to run away, you can't attack and run away. So to move like 3 times your normal walking speed, you need to just like flat out run for like 10 seconds. So
I want to wait because I don't want to leave. I don't want to just like run without Zahira. So I'll take a swing and hopefully try to clear a path so we could maybe flee next turn.
Okay, then you're rolling, I believe, vitality with that Morning Star to just crush
it says for damage, and I'm wielding it two-handed. D12 plus D vitality.
That is correct.
Right. So if you hit, you'll do a ton of damage because it's just a huge stick with spikes on it. But you do have to roll to attack first. You roll Vitality. Okay. They're going to try to dodge. And if you hit, then you will inflict a lot of pain on the horde.
I rolled a 1. Okay. Can I burn grit to change it, or is it just
a 1 is always a failure? So you would.
A 1 is always a failure. If you burn grit and you still roll a 1, it's kind of like a fail forward thing. So like something still happens, but your intent does not get met, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I try to swing and then I'm like off balance by my own Morning Star.
I think on a 1 you realize that the hyena guy you bit you, like their blood, like everything about them is they're so thoroughly poisoned. You also realize they're like sluggish. They've been like poisoned. You're like, what's wrong? Like you've got Novocaine. You got bit, and you're like, oh, this is fun. It's the Quaalude scene in Wolf of Wall Street with the Morningstar. You think you're hitting him, and like nothing. It's in real life. You're like, yeah. And you're real slow. I think the Morningstar is just like falling out of your hands on a 1. It's just like on the ground, and you're like doing this at the hyena guy. It's awkward. I will say, with that, the clattering and the loudness, I think Palladios and Murad, you would hear all the way from the back the muffled din of battle.
Yeah, as we're like Scooby-Doo running to the front of the property, and we're like, where are the other pilgrims? What's going on? Yeah, we would probably definitely hear a Morning Star being dropped on, like, I'm assuming marble or something. Yeah. You also hear a tween from the shadows asking you for a silver pence. Everybody's just jumping the wall, not paying the tax, like the asshole tax. But yeah, assuming you ignore her, then you're going to join combat. We'll say the next round. You can go ahead and roll finesse to determine initiative. I shoved the orphan out of my way. And
she doesn't come anywhere near you. She's a voice from the walls.
Well, I shout back, "You're not touching my silver," which I have none of. Okay, rolling finesse, correct?
Yeah. Cool. Child shoving is not a subgenre of the game, just to be clear.
It's not. No, this is very situation-based. It's not baked into the mechanics.
Right.
I rolled a pitiful 3 on my finesse, so maybe I'm distracted. Yeah, Palladios is distracted by this child crying out and is like, "Go away, child," and then like slows him up a little bit.
If you give me some money,
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're both distracted.
Yeah, Teddy, why is Murad so slow?
I just went and gave her a silver. I have one.
He felt bad.
Actually, hold on a sec. Let me just get this.
On a 1, since you're acting last, Euphronia says that indeed, her master, the vice president of the Factiones Guild and the guildmiter of the Dizorsi Guild in Constantinople, has not been feeling too well, but claims he's never been better, but she knows he's not feeling well because he smells even more strongly than ever and she doesn't even know the words for it. Like, she wants to say of death, but instead she's like, of weird. She assumes he's just been like chugging grappa or whatever, like is just sauced. But he claims he's fine and he sent everyone away, like everyone, like won't see anyone. Except he was waiting on these guys, and they came and they were like nice enough, I guess, but they also must not be feeling well. So she sort of tells you what you will soon find out, which is there might be a bunch of unwell people inside.
And this is why she takes 5 minutes to explain this to us.
Exactly, yeah. And you listen to things you already know. So meanwhile, in the main convening room of the house, the mob, the horde, attacks Alexios again. They got a 3. So you can dodge this if you want by burning 2 grit and getting a 4 or better on a finesse check.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that shot. I rolled a 6.
Great. So octopus hand slapping at you, hyena jaw snapping. You think you're doing amazing. You're Castlevania in your head, but really you're just kind of walking through them, and they're kind of running into each other, and you're all sort of dancing without you actually suffering any damage in that moment. It's a weird melee. It's the Pulp Fiction thing of people shooting in close quarters and just nobody hits. And there's a strange moment of like, what the fuck was that?
This truly is Wolf of Wall Street, where I'm like,
yeah.
It's the legend of the poisoned master.
Yeah,
they're very stumbly, right? They're falling over each other. Most of them have one leg. So, sorry, go ahead, Zan.
Yeah, one mechanics question. I feel like I remember in the rulebook that it said if I rolled, so like 6 is the top is my max finesse roll. Do I get to regain grit?
You get 1 grit back automatically.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So you feel good. You did something really well there. Shubha, Zahira acts like 1 second later. Like as this is happening, you act.
Okay. You took a lot of damage, right? From the guys. I can hand you a vital poultice for you to take.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna use my action to hand him a vital poultice.
Nice.
Great. So if you're using your action to do it, then Zan, do you just want to use it right away and regain?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Great. So what does he get for a vital poultice here?
That is
1d4 pool.
It's 1d4 health, I think, for the
for
for the vital.
Yeah, vital.
The vital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So you can roll d4 and regain that much health. As you apply a poultice, you put a patch of herbs on the open wound of your neck as you're being attacked. And again, it throws them off. It's weird. It's like in the middle of a fist fight, putting on like some tiger balm, you're just like, wait a second. So again, you're just doing all kind of weird moves and they don't know how to react to that. We'll say, a few seconds later, Palladios finally has broken away from the rambling child.
Yeah, Palladios is he's like heaving. He's like, I'm here. What's happening?
Through the atrium, you hear signs of scuffle. Maybe the screen is clattering, falling over. Seems like Zahira and Alexios are being attacked.
I mean, yeah, I think, hearing that struggle, I think Palladios is going to take his spetum, this big forked spear that he's been carrying around using as a cane. He's going to wield it two-handed. And I think, honestly, the vibe that I'm getting from this character that I made is that he's just going to rush in and try to just assuming that his comrades are in trouble. He's just going to kind of rush in and try to blindly attack this horde coming at him.
Roll to hit.
Okay. Let's see. It's a finesse. All right. I got a 6.
Great. They can't dodge that. So you stab somebody.
All right. So since I'm two-handing this spetum, it's 2d10. It's d10 plus my finesse. Sweet. So that's going to be 17 points of damage.
Great. Tell me how you kill your choice, 1 or 2 of these poisoned Venetian spies.
Yeah, I think just classic dumb action movie shit. He's running as fast as he can on his little old man legs. He's got the spear out in front of him, just kind of braced against his body, and he just skewers 2 of them just right in a row. Whoever is standing behind the first person in the mob right in front of him, and yeah, just kind of does a nice kebab of demoniacs, and then rips the spetum free as they fall to the ground. Yeah,
Hyena Mouth's octopus arm is friendly exploring, with its own neural development that's different from it's just still kind of alive for a moment, kind of hugging you, and it slowly slips off as he dies in front of you again. You send these demoniacs to a false death, and they will return with yet more mutations within 4 hours. Acting last, but not least, Murad charges in, sees all of this happening. There's 4 demoniacs attacking Alexios. Palladios has killed a couple. Zahira is there. Throwing medicine.
I'm a badass.
Yeah. I think I would follow Palladios' follow suit with Palladios and charge in there, sort of taking from my elder.
Excellent. What are you attacking with?
I have a hand axe, so I'm going to attack with my hand axe.
Very nice.
One of them.
So you're rolling vitality?
Yeah.
for our viewers at home or our listeners at home later. So in Danse Macabre, you roll different scores for different weapon types. So bludgeons and axes use vitality, just kind of brute strength. Swords and polearms, or blades and polearms, use finesse. And then ranged weapons use your insight. So it's kind of about your perception more than it is your ability to draw a bow back.
It's fun.
I got a 1. So
You got a 1. Great.
I got a little ahead of myself.
The
Perhaps.
dice are not with us in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely hand axe into Palladios, and maybe Palladios, you block it with the spetum, but do you want to say, Palladios, are you going to take damage from this, or are you going to take a disadvantage and no damage?
I'll take damage from it. I think Palladios is like feeling real sure of himself after having kebabbed a couple of demoniacs, not really paying attention to what's happening behind him. Just kind of assumes that Murad has this.
I'm going to say, Chris, Palladios takes 5 damage as Murad sort of I think you're all just,
I was
tight
coming
quarters.
in, going for one of the demonics in front of Palladios, and then I sort of realized they were dead and pulled back, but not quite soon enough.
There's a low footstool in front of you, which some of you might call a Byzantine, some of you might call an Ottoman, but you just trip over that last minute, as you realize, and you're going, so it's, again, there's sort of like tentacles, blood, ichor, stuff flying everywhere, and of course, not sufficiently soft textiles.
Of course. I'm going to say this slashes the back of Palladios' shirt open, and he's like, "Not my shirt!" And just immediately his stomach mouth starts to like eat the shirt, and it like rips away and disappears into his own stomach. And he's like, "Oh, beans!"
That's a fancy shirt.
Nice shirt.
Chris, the Horde is attacking Palladios. They got a 3 again, so you need to dodge. You need to get a 4 or better, or else the Horde that is wheeled on Palladios is able to sort of rip him apart.
Yeah, no problem. I'll burn 2 grit, going down to 7. Sun's getting low. I rolled a 1 to dodge.
Great. Palladios takes 11 damage.
God dang!
Is Palladios standing, or is Palladios down?
Palladios is still standing, but just like whatever the demoniacs do, I'm assuming they kind of like with that much damage, they're like piling onto him. He's still standing, but like just barely. You can see like his knees are starting to like wobble and knock as he's like trying to maintain his balance, but rapidly failing. No, he's down to 2 health and 7 grit, so it's not looking good.
Yeah, there's a young Venetian woman who has a normal mouth and growing out of her face like a dark like stork beak that has just speared you through the chest with the stork beak as you were like caught up with Murad. And so you're all just like one after another, like Alexios, demoniacs, Palladios, Murad, demoniacs, like just kind of dog pile. It's just it's a rugby scrum type of combat at this point. It is Alexios's initiative. No, it is Zahir's initiative. Sorry.
All right. I'm going to go after the Horde with my quarterstaff, which I'm going to pull out, if that's okay. Or would I have needed to have that equipped beforehand?
No, go for it. Last round, you just tossed a bag at somebody. So you tossed a bag.
So I tossed a bag, and then I grabbed my quarterstaff. And now I have my quarterstaff, and I am going to... it's a vitality for attack, and that's a D10. Does a 6 hit?
6 hits, can't dodge that. So you tell me the damage.
All right. So we're gonna add. If I make a vitality attack check with a bludgeoning weapon, which a quarterstaff is, I add a +1. So that's gonna be my D6 plus my vitality +1.
And you can burn grit for damage if you want.
Okay. All right. That is a 6 + 4 is 10 + 1 is 11 damage.
Okay, nice. How do you kill at least one demoniac? What does it look like when you hit them with the staff really hard?
All right. Which demoniacs are left? Like, what do they look like?
Stork lady. We got a really long guy with 2 long legs but no arms. but has like somehow picked up, like there's just a couple knives kind of sticking out of him. That's humdinger. There's a guy with 1 foot, with like bear-like arms, maybe a large cat, maybe hard to tell in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
And there's one with like a bag over his head and you can't really see that well with 1 arm, 2 legs, but he's just like a really big, strong guy. And you're not sure
Okay,
what to do with the bag.
I bonk Baghead, like just on the top of his head. I just bonk him on the head.
Yeah, you go through this sack, I should say, it's like sack head, and realize there's not much head there. It's like part of the head was used too, or removed or whatever. And so you kind of bonk like what the remaining brainstem, and it's just the whole guy just flops over, crashes into the footstool, and is gone, is in false death again.
Okay.
So the horde is not looking so good. There's 3 poison courtiers left. Mechanically, you know, again, the horde is not doing well, but they will just continue to try to kill you. I mean, they're mutant zombies. Now it is Alexios' initiative, and then it'll be Palladios, and then Murad. So there's 3 of you left. You might be able to finish this and run around. I don't know.
Well, I think I'm going to have to double back to pick up my Morning Star, because I think I dropped it with that.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I was planning on fleeing to get the Janissaries, but with the acrobatic dodging and the healing and seeing my companions in trouble, I'm feeling a little more full of myself. So I am going to dash back and pick up my Morning Star. Do I have more action after that, or is that kind of my turn?
You know, you lost it on the 1, so technically that would be like taking your action to go get it out of the scrum. If you want to punch one as you're running as just a freebie, you can roll vitality to just try to punch one.
Yeah.
The risk being, and you could roll 1 on this, but otherwise you could do some damage.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You come to out of your poison stupor and you're like, oh shit.
And I run back towards it. I rolled a 6.
Nice.
Punched 1 on the way. How do I roll damage for...
For an unarmed attack, it's going to be D3 plus your vitality score.
Oh, cool.
So D3 plus D vitality. Let me know the total.
2. And then my vitality... Wait, do I roll vitality?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
My vitality... Yeah. Okay, cool. 5.
Great. So 7 total.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was 5 total.
5 total. Okay, great.
3. Yeah.
Do you could do? What are we talking? Punching, jump kicks, elbows. How do business?
I like the idea of I'm running past him and just throw a fist out to the side as I pass it.
Great, classic. Yeah, I think maybe as Stork is like pulling out of the chest of Palladios, you just punch her real hard in the face. And she just kind of spirals back like, what the fuck? You have your Morning Star equipped. You are ready to do business as usual again, which is with a huge metal rod with spikes in it. Chris, Palladios the Elder can act.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Palladios is not... I don't think he feels very well in this moment. Having like been axed and then ripped apart by this horde. I think that he is going to try to fall back behind maybe Murad and Zahira. So I think I'm gonna make a flee attempt here. Okie doke. And so yeah, when you take the basic action flee, you have to burn 4 grit for it. But basically, it means that your dodge rolls, like you can move at basically triple your stated speed or your normal speed, which is about 20 feet in combat. And then any dodge roll that I make until my next turn, I don't have to pay grit for, which is quite nice. But yeah, I think with that, yeah, Palladios is just gonna try to like book it to the back of the room to get as far away from this horde as possible, so that he can take a moment to catch his breath.
Great. Are you trying to go into the house deeper or leave the way you came in?
I think just like falling back to where he came into this room.
Great. Okay. You are going back. Why don't you roll insight as you go back? I think it's unlikely you would see anything else, but you are leaving the theater of combat here.
Yeah, no problem. My insight score is a D6, so not great. So that feels appropriate. I got a 5.
You just might hear soft scuttling, like maybe somebody is coming up from the sort of river side from the north, from the down the cliff.
Okay.
But you can't really hear. There's a house in the way, so like I don't know what the sound of somebody walking on stone from a big house over. You'd barely hear it.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Teddy, Murad's initiative. Your elder, comrade just left.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah, I think feeling bad for having, axed Palladios in the back. Murad's gonna try and just cover for his running away, as it were, by attacking at whichever of any of the horde that's like following after him.
Yeah, we just rolled. They're all attacking kind of all of you. They were mostly kind of attacking Alexios and Palladios. Now they're kind of more or less attacking you. I mean, if you're not leaving, then there's a couple hale-looking mutant zombies and one very severely concussed, like half-dead stork person. And they are all basically just going to attack whatever's closest, which is you. You and Zahir, I guess, are both kind of in the line of fire now. But yeah, roll to hit.
All right.
From the back of the room, you hear Palladius go, "You got a lot to make up for."
Well, I rolled a 2.
All right, let's
I
see.
do get a +1 for axes. That's one of my things. So I guess 3 total.
Makes it a 3.
You hit. They rolled a 2, so you hit. They do burn the grit to dodge, but they fail to dodge. So let me know the damage.
All right. I got a D6 and D vitality, so double 3s. 6.
Great. All right. There is, how do you kill one of these remaining demoniacs or falsely kill, bringing 2-0 health?
Yeah, I think maybe the stork woman is coming first, having just been punched and disoriented. And so I'll swing my axe to cut off the extra head or beak, whatever it would be.
Yeah, gross. There's, blood oozes out. And I think in the swing, you also maybe hit, armless knife guy. Again, the whole room is just covered. It's just slick with blood at this point and smells pretty foul. And you can all smell this sort of soporific, paralytic poison. It has this cloying, it's like someone burning sage or something. It's got a very strong smell in addition to the blood. At the top of the round, they're going to attack Murad. They rolled a natural 1. Not making it up. Rolled a 1. Knife guy just runs so hard into the wall, is just like stuck in the wall. So there's like one kind of functional zombie. I don't even, I just want to say, if you want to roll for it, Shubha, you can. Otherwise, you can just narrate how does Zahira take out the horde and reduce this threat to the point where there's nothing,
Okay.
There's not really any active zombie, any demoniacs like attacking.
I have to go with Talon attack. Yeah.
Roll a die and don't get a 1, and
Okay.
you can kill them.
All right, what is my Talon roll? It is a. Am I rolling to attack or am I rolling?
You're rolling to attack, but you'll kill them with the damage if you hit.
Okay. I got a 5.
Great. You kill them. How do you dismember this last functional demoniac?
So he has no hands, but I'm gonna rip off his legs with my talons. So now he has no hands or legs.
Great. Hamstringing. You hamstring them, and they're all now, not necessarily all dead, but they are not functioning, and they will come back, but several of them are not moving, and a couple are wiggling, but like not really able to get at you. It's terrible smelling. It's just an insane scene. Like just seconds ago, this was a beautiful living room of a rich merchant, and now it's just like a bloodbath. You do hear, all of you, I think, footsteps, door opening at the back of the house at this point. So what does everyone want to do first, and then depending on that, I think you can also just roll insight to just kind of be like, what the hell is going on here?
Okay, so is there anything we can loot from these demoniacs?
Sure, absolutely.
Do they happen to have any, like, I don't know, elixirs or any other medicaments on them? I think Palladius is taking, like, what remains of his, like, ripped up, chewed up shirt and is, like, wrapping his wounds.
Yeah, Zahira hands Palladius 2 vital poultices. So, yeah. So I'm down to 2 left now.
Bless you, my child. He's just gonna start rubbing them all over.
Yeah, regain your stuff.
2d8 or 2d4.
Got it. I got.
Since you chose to loot, you're regaining some grit.
Yeah,
you're regaining health from that.
Health. Yeah, regaining health. I rolled a d20 to see what they'd had on them, thinking this would be like silver pence equivalent. I got a natural 20 on that d20 roll. Ooh. So I'm going to say first on Hyena Face, you find a very delicate old gold chain with a little cross, with a little sort of crude saint on there. And you just have a feeling that even though it looks, worth something, it might be worth more than it looks. It feels to you, you can almost smell, it feels quintessent. It feels like a relic, a artifact of the age before the abandonment that has retained some imprint of human labor. The thing that's most important in the world, human labor, that has made it have essentially powers. So on a d20, you find a relic. You're not sure what it does, but you have it. The way relics work in the game, if you sing, which is a fervor check, and I make players do a little karaoke, you got to sing something, sing, rap, chant, whatever you want. Then the relic activates. You usually get a bonus of some kind. And also that means anyone near you who dies remains dead. They do not experience false death. They experience true death. We don't know what happens. The game does not take a metaphysical position, but they're not coming back when they go to 0 health. No one was singing, so the relic was not active, but now you have it in your hand.
And we do have a bunch of demoniac corpses currently in false death, about to revive within a few hours.
Okay, so I guess that means I gotta sing a song.
I guess so. Oh no.
Well, so you do hear those footsteps coming, so we can come back. Let's come back to that, Shubha. What is everyone else doing? It sounds like Palladius was mostly healing, right? You're kind of dealing with your like very fucked up body.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just
do we have time to convey that information that we got?
Yeah, for sure. You have like a minute, right? Someone's walking through a house towards you from the back.
Yes, I think we just convey what we learned from the orphan girl to Alexios and Zahira.
Yeah, apparently the master of the house wasn't feeling so good. Kind of like me right now.
Or kind of like all of these demoniacs, possibly.
Oh, fair point.
Yes, quite.
I don't think anybody's feeling good.
Teddy, since Murad seems interested in this line of thinking, do you want to roll insight to kind of look around the room and just like the house? Like, you've only been a couple of rooms beyond. There's a kitchen and scullery and servants' quarters, and there's like another hallway leading to the bedrooms and the chapel.
Yeah. Ooh, I got a 6.
6. Excellent. You find actually some loose papers, which I think only one of you can read based on the fact that literacy was classed at this time. Like it might be again, who knows? How would that happen? Only Zahira's character can read these. But you have a bunch of papers written in Latin that one of you can figure out.
God, I'll take a look at it.
We would be so fucked without Zahira.
I'll take a look at it.
Great.
Okay.
These are letters. These are clearly sort of seditious letters written by Disorsi to other Italians saying that he's got a whole plan to revolutionize specifically labor in Constantinople. And he's going to take away the sort of need for the diarchy and for the diarchy to sort of work with these, it's very racist against, poor Greeks, poor Turks, poor Armenians. It's very much about how we will create sort of, There you go. How we will create a better solution that doesn't require all these poor workers. And that you just need to come and help me out. And it's coded in a way that I'd say roll insight, Shubha, to see what Zahira like. It's written in Latin, and it is kind of insane. It's like you found insane bad guy rambling, like a manifesto, right? Like
I am surprisingly bad at insight for a scholar. I have it's a D6 for my insight.
You could burn grit if you want.
I'm gonna burn some grit for this.
Okay.
All right. Do I decide how much grit I'm gonna burn now?
Yes. You should say beforehand.
Okay. Yeah. Or it says actually, I have a humor that says strong-willed whenever I roll an insight, or is that's just to resist charm?
I think that's only to resist a charm that's being done to you. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just burn some grit, like 2 grit or something like that, right? And then
roll this. 3, 6, or 9. So you're burning 3, rolling, adding 3.
Okay, I'm gonna burn 3 grit. So 14. So now I'm at 11 out of 14, and then. I rolled a 4, so that's a 7.
7, great. On a 7, you get the sense that this is written in a way that is very ambivalent. It sounds to an outsider like maybe this is code for let's do a revolution. It sounds to you, on looking at the pile of mutilated corpses, like this is more of a send me fine young bodies so I can do experiments on them revolution. Like the revolution is not literally overthrowing the diarchy. There was never really a plan for that. Mm-hmm. The revolution was something much more House of Horrors, right? That is a much closer. I think on a 7, this touches on, and maybe Shubha, you can add one little bit here. Like, how does Zahira recognize something close to maybe her own interests, their own sort of investigations?
I think what Zahira realizes is that whoever created these demoniacs from these bodies kind of accomplished what Zahira was trying to do with reanimating corpses, except it was kind of horrible and not at all what she thought she could do, because she was definitely of the school of alchemy of let's bring back the dead, but they'll be perfectly fine and they're just alive and kicking and not these monstrosities. So it's almost realizing that, this school of magic or this technology like necromancy or, other technologies that are said to revolutionize an industry aren't what they promise to be. And she's kind of horrified that just I didn't mean we would replace workers with these soulless creatures who are, just insulting replications of what human life is.
Gotta move fast and resurrect things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not about move fast and resurrect. So she's kind of horrified.
So this person's been researching how to control what happens when you die, which you always come back with mutations and eventually lose your mind and you're a mutant zombie, but this person's trying to control it. And as you say, maybe controlling it wouldn't lead to the promised land, the world of tomorrow. Would lead to something even worse. So as you're having this revelation, we're going to give Zan Alexios an action, and then we're going to see who's coming through. But I also think Zahira is going to sing, so we can sort of do. I think let's do Alexios singing, and then somebody's coming on in. So Zan, what is Alexios doing this whole time? Are you looking around?
I think so. I've got a wine skin. I think I'm going to uncork my wine. I'm a little bit shook from battle. I'm going to uncork it, take a sip from it, to regain a D4 of grit, and then it applies drunk too. But I also have, I've got a taste for fine wine. So whenever I consume an item with drunk X, I get to add +1 to the roll, determining how I'm inflicted. So how does that work?
So you're going to roll vitality, and basically you only, if it's drunk 2 and you get the +1, you only fail on a 1. So as long as you roll vitality and don't get a 1, you're not drunk. Drunk mechanically means you have disadvantage on all checks for, in this case, 2 hours. You drink enough booze. You basically drink 2 full glasses, right? So, or more than that, enough to get you drunk for 2 hours.
Two flagons worth.
So did you roll vitality, and did you get a 1? Otherwise, you regain all that and you don't suffer.
Okay, cool. So I rolled a 3.
Great.
And then I also get to recover an additional D3 of GRT. So I think that's a 1D4 and then another D3.
Yeah. So you roll both. You recover all that. You feel great. In this game, you can drink a little water. You can drink wine, spirits, and you regain grit from kind of you've been fighting zombies. Like, you're thirsty, you're tired, you're annoyed. So okay, maybe booze isn't medicine, but hey, there's a disadvantage. We tried to be.
It takes the edge off.
It's thirsty work slaying undead mutants.
And that's the name of the quest. Thirsty work. Great. So Alexios, you're feeling better. It is pretty good. I like that as like a very silly, not Byzantine sounding poetic title. As that's happening, so we're going to do the singing. So Zahira has to roll fervor, and you need a 6 or better on a fervor check to activate the relic, basically singing on key or chanting on rhythm.
Okay, singing on key or chanting on rhythm.
And you have to do something to entertain us, which does not have to be on key or on rhythm. It just has to be an earnest attempt.
You are not beholden to the mechanics of the game.
Okay.
Right. The character in the world is, but yeah, you just,
Thirsty.
All right. I got a 3 on my roll.
Are you going to burn 3 grit?
I am going to burn 3 grit for this. So
Great.
I'm down to 8 grit.
So Shubha, what does Zahira do to sort of activate the relic? And what are you going to do to activate the relic for us?
I think Zahira is going to channel a song from a different world and a different time. All right, are you ready?
We're very ready. The stream is ready.
Okay. Oh, caught in a bad romance. Oh, caught in a bad romance. Ra ra Roma Roma ga ga ooh la la. Want your bad romance? I want your ugly. I want your disease. I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love.
Great. So as you're singing in late Byzantine Greek, or maybe this is a Berber folk song. Yeah, Aramaic, whatever. As you're singing rah, 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 charging down through the hall from the bedrooms is someone large. And as they come into the hallway, the shadow they cast is terrifying. But at the same time that they look terrifying, the necklace in your hand glows, and you feel more at peace and at ease. And this is a very helpful relic to have found. It's going to help you with some demoniacs, and it may just be that a demoniac is basically barreling down upon you. What is everyone doing? Is this large figure, like clearly someone really large is about to run in the room? Like, what do you want to do this time? Singing still happening. Glowing still happening.
I want your love and I want your revenge. In the background as I'm holding this relic.
Yeah. I think Palladios is still kind of like in the back of the room, wherever the entrance point that they came in, and like still rubbing poultice. Like they've ripped open the sacks of poultices and are just like rubbing it on. They're like feeding it into their stomach mouth. And I don't think that he would even notice. Like he's like tapping his toe along to the song. He's like, "This is great. I'm having fun again." So I don't think that he would even notice that there's like this imposing figure coming down into the room that they're in.
Murad, Alexios.
Yeah, we did get those papers, so maybe we can just
get out
of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, how far away are the Janissaries?
You have to cross the courtyard, and then you're on the street, and they're in the house. They're garrisoned in the house next, across the street. So they're right there. They're not far, but you do mechanically. You're going to have to use your action to run to try to avoid getting in combat, basically. So let me know if you're standing around singing and not doing that, or if you're running.
I'm going to call out to my compatriots and be like, I think we've got what we came for. We should go now.
Oh,
and
then the tower is stinky too. I don't know if we said that.
Oh, right.
More damning evidence to add to the pile, I say.
All right. Well,
I'm going to take off running towards the
let's book it.
Yeah,
running.
Yeah. I think Palladius, not really knowing what's going on, he's just like, "Oh, we're running again." Okay, he
singing and running.
He's like, "Oh, damn it."
As you run, entering the room is the largest person you've ever seen. He's an anemic old man with many, many legs of different sizes and many arms of different sizes, all fine specimens. And in addition, crowning his neck are many tongues that are sort of wiggling, that have been all sutured on. He's not wearing a shirt, but he is wearing kind of like a specially made hauberk, like armor that's sort of fluted at the top with a sort of a wide neck vest of armor. And in lieu of pants, he has just sort of like bloomers, right? Like sort of things that are tailored in so they're not revealing too much down to the knee of these differently shaped legs. And he is silent until he sees you, and as he sees you running back into the atrium, he starts yelling in Italian that he is the future of work. That there needn't to be any workers who he must pay, that instead he will do all the work himself and he will reap all the benefits himself. That he is the new intelligence, the artificial one that is stronger. Yeah. And you see clearly Guildmiter Dizorsi, the vice president of the Facciones, barreling down on you with almost literally a random number, as if to be rolled, of legs and arms. And it doesn't look so hot. Looks like maybe lost a couple screws. So mechanically, we're going to do some finesse checks to try to run away if you're just running away. But let me know if you want to stop and fight. That went really well last time. You just, had no issues there. So
awesome.
I think I want to try to light a torch and throw it at him to set him on fire. I want to burn this place down now. I'm so disillusioned from this artificial intelligence. I just want to burn it all down.
I thought his name was Giordano Di Sorsi, not Sam Altman. I'm so sorry.
One of the Janissaries pulls out a small trombone and plays. Yeah. Great. Everyone roll finesse. And Chris, we decided throwing things at random is a finesse check also, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, Shubha, you're going to roll 2 finesse checks, and they're different things, so please roll. The first one is running away, and the second one will be throwing a cool thing.
Okay. And both of these are movement-based checks, right?
They are both movement-based checks, yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So, the first one is a 4, and that's for running away. So 3 + 1.
Okay.
And then the second one for throwing a torch is also a 3 + 1.
Great.
4. And if I need to burn some grit for that, I will do that.
It's up to, I don't know how much grit you have, but right. A 4. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna hit something with a 4, not him dead on. So if you want to get it up to, if you burn 3 to get a 7, then you hit him.
Okay.
Either way, it's gonna light the house on fire.
I'm gonna hit him because that's cool. So I'm down to 5 grit. But it's so worth it.
So worth it.
Great. And you are, even on a 4 for running away, are still faster. What did Murad, Palladios, and Alexios get to run away?
I'm going to burn 3 grit to do... I have fleet-footed, which lets me...
Great.
Move faster.
Yeah, you're super fast.
So I burned 3 grit for that, and I rolled a 5.
Great. You also are faster than Dizorsi. Despite having 12 legs, they don't all operate perfectly yet. Yet is the key word. He hasn't refined, his management platform.
He just needs to train his method a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more, and then they'll figure out how to run.
He needs them all to work more days and not, take so many breaks. And that's really the issue with his legs, is that he's seeing. What did Zan? What did Alexios get?
I rolled a 3. I'm going to burn 3 grit to get it up to a 6.
Great. Then, and sorry, Chris, Palladios got...
Palladios rolled a flat 8 on a d10.
8, great. Palladios is gone before any of this happens. The rest of you escape, running away. You're faster than Dizorsi right now. Dizorsi it really wants to kill you all. One thing will happen, though, since Zahira turns and throws right at him and hits him with the torch. He's also going to burn 3 grit to use a power. You must make a difficult fervor check. You must make a 7 or better fervor check as he is looking at you, orating, and his arms are spinning and gesticulating, and he's showing you how he can do so many useful things, and there will be no labor, only management. As again, his legs sometimes at random are just like canning, like not really propelling him forward.
Canning.
Okay. So fervor check?
Yes, fervor check, you need a 7 or better.
Okay. What do I have for fervor? I have a D8 for fervor. And what kind of fervor check is this?
This would count. He's trying to charm you. He's using a Maleficium enthralling gaze. So he is locking eyes at you and basically doing a sort of mesmeric animal hypnotism. Like he is sort of, vampire stunning you. Okay.
So then would this be like a fervor charm to resist it? Or is it just like a...
Yes. Yeah. You're resisting, you're resisting charm. So roll fervor. And if you have a bonus for that, apply that bonus.
I have a bonus for insight for resisting charm, and I also have a fervor for charming bonus. So
got it. Whatever the resistance one, go for it. Roll fervor and add that resistance.
Cool.
This is resisting a charm.
All right. So that is a 6 + 1 is 7.
Nice.
Great. You barely somehow pull yourself away. Something about the tone of his voice. This is the Videodrome signal, right? This is something that's going to fuck with your brain. You're going to have nightmares about this for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But you pull yourself away. Maybe it is... what is it? What is it, Shubha? What does Zahira think or do or say or sing that allows her to escape in this moment?
I think she realizes that she's being charmed, and then sort of starts to fall for the thrall, but instead just internal monologue goes back to rah rah to try to block it out. And just sings the song to block it out.
The ancient Aramaic hymn saves you.
Yes.
Exactly. You all run across the courtyard and toward the gate. And now on the other side, you can easily throw off the big, piece of wood barring it and pull the chain and lift the metal and get out and run across the street. And the Janissaries are across the street still drinking tea with this family who now they're both mutually bored, and it's just awkward. It's whatever. It's like a cops protesters, but nothing's actually happened vibe. So they're just kind of tired of being on edge. Anyone want to say anything as you flee the burning house and you hear the screams of Dizorsi and the rambling, and you realize a lot of the chemicals he's now pumped with are highly flammable. So he's got just a leg explodes as he's mid monologue, as he's canning through his own living room into the atrium after you.
I think, since Palladios kind of got out first, he swings open the gate of the courtyard and starts running directly at the Janissaries, and he's just going, demoniac, just over and over, not even really very cogent, just kind of screaming that there's a demoniac chasing them.
Any other final words here as we leave the palazzo?
Do we see the orphan hanging around anywhere?
Oh yeah,
I'm so glad you asked.
Let's make sure let's not
leaving the child behind.
No child left behind.
Do you go find her and get her away from her transformed, adoptive father, essentially?
Yes.
Great. So every round that you're anywhere near Dizorsi, when we're in initiative, which we don't need to even do initiative, we're just going to do this one power. You choose whatever check you make, and I'll tell you from easiest to hardest. Otherwise, you suffer a bunch of damage as he catches up to you and attacks you. Finesse is easiest, so you need to make a finesse check, a normal finesse check.
Okay.
Next hardest is vitality. Next hardest is insight, and then the hardest is fervor. where you would literally be like convincing him not to attack you.
Please don't attack me, mister.
So if you want to help the orphan, you need at least one round, and then you can roll finesse again, and he's pretty slow at chasing you. But he's on fire also, so he's suffering damage, et cetera, et cetera. The house is on fire.
All right, I'm gonna go for a finesse check, and this is a movement finesse check, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And are Murad or Alexios or Palladios helping, or are you all like, she's got this?
Palladios is like across the street.
Oh, right. Palladios is gone, yeah.
All right,
Alexios,
that was a 5+1, so that's a 6.
Though.
Great. Then you avoid his attacks this round. Teddy, you said Murad is also there?
Yeah, I think you would help too, since...
Great. What do you want to roll?
That nice earlier.
We all got by this little girl who like took our coin, and we're still helping her.
She's a charmer. She's like Shirley Temple.
She's so charming. Yeah, she just is Shirley Temple.
I got a 7 for vitality.
Great. Excellent. Then you both, so this is like, he catches up to you and you like wrestle part of him. He's his replacement of labor, where he just is all the labor. He's like a bunch of strong arms grab you and you like fight them off and you get away. You both run into the gatehouse and you realize like you make it to like not the close gatehouse that Palladios ran through and maybe Alexios is running through, but off to the tower in the corner where she sort of hid once she duped you out of a coin. And you go in there and she's run back in there. She's kind of run out a couple times and spied on you and then run back. And she's now in there. She has like a little cot, like just basically thatch, like straw. And she also has little miniature versions she's saved up and stole and made. You see glinting little mirrors and little tiny alembics and little tiny fire starters. And she has a large number of rats that are dead and amputated all around her. And she's kind of sitting quietly, like very complacently amid these, horrors in her little empty guard tower. There was once a barracks for a couple guys. She's sort of like, what's up? Like just nonplussed at on fire adoptive father outside that's like now 20 feet tall.
This is a little baby necromancer, isn't it?
This is Chris speaking, not Palladios. I don't know about this kid. I don't know.
She's a kid. You could change her life, right? Like she's either going to stay here with this guy or do something else. Do you like grab her and make her go with you?
Yeah.
I think Murad would too. He has respect for like the working class. She's just in a bad situation,
Mm-hmm.
It's not
that. I have empathy as someone who also once believed in necromancy and its potential to revolutionize the future and was now disillusioned by it. I just look at this kid and I was like, I was you once. Trust me, kid. It's all a lie.
It starts with
she
rats,
says
and it goes up from there.
She says the 14th century Byzantine Greek equivalent of, I just need a startup. I need like a seed round. You grab her. You grab her as Murad is holding back Dizorsi, getting kind of kicked in the shins, but like not quite effectively. And the rest of Dizorsi is like on some of him. He's distracted by being on fire. Some of him is like coughing, like kind of poisoned. And some of him is monologuing, and some of him is still trying to get to Zahira. But Zahira grabs Euphronia and dodges through his arms. Alexios, what is Alexios doing in this moment as our pilgrims all make it out into the street to the Janissaries?
Alexios dashes over to the Janissary and tries to get them into action. Like, you're sitting here on your ass while there's a monstrosity attacking the other folks in there. Like, we've got a professor and a peasant that are saving a little girl. If I go back to the Pasha and tell him the tale of your cowardice, do you think you'll have a job for much longer?
That's great. Why don't you want to roll fervor with advantage? Not even just a +1 from Palladios as they're yelling, but I'll give you advantage to convince them to spring into action. Yeah. Whip out their sabers.
You get a -1 from Palladios yelling.
Yeah, probably a -1. No, but it's advantage on that.
Can I ask, I've got this bluster ability. You're used to throwing your weight around to get what you want. Whenever you make a roll That's vitality plus. Whenever you roll an intimidate check, this isn't an is this an intimidate check?
I mean, you're kind of trying to intimidate them. I would argue you're putting their jobs on the line.
It's up to you. It might be better for you to roll straight fervor from a table talk standpoint, but I would say just go with your gut. Are you trying to intimidate them or like cajole them, like inspire them? You know, like what's the vibe here?
I'll do just the fervor.
Okay, yeah, they're big. There's like a lot of them, and they're bigger than you. Like intimidate, I think makes a little less sense in that
they
baseline.
Heavily armed as well.
That's a good point. I'm glad I have advantage because the first one was a 1. And the second one was a 1.
Whoa.
And you rolled 2 once in a row? Okay, wait. Let me see if I get a 1.
You need a better dice rolling.
Yeah, I know. I only have a 6 in fervor.
I think we're gonna close this with we'll jump to a little denouement. I'll let you guys end it, but Zahira and Murad run out into the street with Euphronia, kicking and screaming that if she just saves up a little more, if she just gets that seed investment, she will have a better. She's figured out a better way to do what Dizorsi was trying to do. Oh, no. Dizorsi is stuck at the gate and can't quite get through, and is very much on fire and sort of choking on like poisoned like smoke. And his whole house behind him is up. This, 1,000 years, this little stone house has stood and is now falling. The dome is scorched. And it's eerily quiet. It's not like very loud. He's just kind of monologuing. I mean, he's just kind of a guy at the end of the day. And the Janissaries are sipping tea, quietly thanking this family, putting some stuff away, kind of getting their spears, their swords. They're like lazily going toward the fire. Like, yeah, I guess I should check that out. And we close with maybe Alexios. Maybe is Alexios just like, what is his reaction to this? Like disappointment, or like I knew that shit. Like the state doesn't ever intervene when there's catastrophes.
Yeah. No. He has no faith in the state.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, of course.
Well, with that, you're all back. It's dusk. You're back in the Ottoman side of the city, and you're reporting back to Mustafa Pasha. I'll give you each a little chance here. This is our big ending. So anything you want to say, or lie about, is your story to tell. We the viewers, that you've saved the day. And also this would be a great chance if you want to make any connections, I don't know what those could possibly be, but to, the modern, situation we find ourselves in, to the strike. Feel free to leave us with a word of inspiration. Who wants to jump in first? Maybe, Chris, do you want to go first and then let Kickstarter United close it out so we kind of, start goofy and go maybe less goofy? We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think Palladios, he's lived his life as a peasant. It's not a great existence, but at the same time, like he wants to see workers not be replaced by horrifying monstrosities that are amalgamations of, every piece of human knowledge / body parts. So I think that, it kind of depends on what the other people say, but Palladios is just going to lie. He's not going to infer that this has anything to do with labor. It's like he was just a crazy guy. He was just crazy. He just wanted to play with dead bodies. And that's sick. That makes me absolutely sick. He wasn't trying to overthrow the entire labor system of the diarchy. No, sir, no way, no how. He's just a sicko out there in his little rich boy mansion. Also, can I move to this side of the wall? It really sucks in the slums. I would like to work on the farm where it's nice on your side of the wall. Just mull it over. Think about it.
Yeah, I think you're hired. Maybe not to do any of the labor you think, but to inspire, entertain everyone with crazy stories. You're hired as a jester. You're basically hired as a stand-up comic.
Let's go. I never speak to any other peasants ever again. No, I'm kidding.
Class trade.
I could just imagine that. Hey, where are you from? You're from Acre? You're from the ex-Crusader states? I knew that. I could tell you. Yeah.
I started doing observational comedy.
Observational comedy in 1390. Okay. Chris, do you want to call on one of our great Kickstarter United friends to close it out?
Yeah, sure. Shubha, what is Zahira doing?
All right. Zahira doubles down on Palladios's lie, knowing that, the knowledge that anybody successfully created one of these horrific amalgamations and was able to, control what happens after death to any extent would like probably lead to other people trying to replicate it. So I'm just gonna say he was a crazy drunk madman, and we found him dead. Like, we were like, it's disgusting, you know. We saw that he was playing around with bodies, and then he probably like drank himself to death or something like that. It's just corpses in there.
Yeah, did you see?
And then the fire just
caught on fire.
lit on fire. Yeah.
He was soused.
Yeah, Mustafa Pasha thinks this is ridiculous that you would like get rich and then just sit around drinking all day. Like, what a lazy, you know, like this is like the opposite of his whole belief system. He hates this guy. I love that. Yeah, he drank himself to on fire. This is a great lie.
Yeah,
Very
he got drunk,
believable.
set himself on fire, set his house on fire. We had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. We weren't even in that house.
We just got there and there was a fire.
It's crazy.
I'm actually going to turn to my fellow pilgrims and say, I didn't want to go on this pilgrimage, but I've learned something from it. I used to think I was above peasants and academics, but now I see that's not the case. Murad, Zahira, if you want to come back and work for me, we'll share the profits evenly now. Palladios, if you come by the shop, I'll tailor you some shirts of the finest silk with a hole for your mouth so that it doesn't eat the shirts any longer.
That's so thoughtful. I've never even considered a custom tailored shirt. It's like beyond Palladius's wildest dreams to have like a nice thing.
One of the Janissaries does whisper in your ear that you can't wear nice things when being a jester for the Pasha. You have to look like a crazy guy with a stomach mouth that eats all the shirts.
Okay,
yeah, but
it'll be a shirt. It'll be a shirt of the lowest quality wool.
Excellent. We love to see Alexios grow like that. Teddy, do you want to close it on out here?
Yeah, I think Rod wants to, invest in the future, so he's going to take on the little girl. That's his ward.
Aww.
To be working under Alexios and teach her the way of things.
We love that. Positive vision, Teddy, where, let's say 10 years later, she's now, not 9, she's 19, 20, she's helping you run the store. You're old, Alexios, who knows if Alexios is still around. How is the world better? Because you've changed Euphrenia's life, and she is not apprenticed to an alchemist, but apprenticed to a collective of workers who support each other and show solidarity.
Yeah, I think she has the advantage of working a 4-day work week, which is really great.
For one thing, for starters.
Yeah,
really great benefit.
We don't have, like the concept of peasants doesn't exist within our company because everybody is paid like a minimum salary, and we have a salary floor at our company, which is great.
We love that. We love how Basasili Softwares has evolved.
Mm-hmm.
It's employee owned now.
It's employee owned.
Hell yeah.
And with that, that's the origin of the B Corp, everyone, the origin of the collective. You heard it here first. This is a true story. It's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We're just giving you the straight dope. No, thank you so much to Teddy, Zan, and Shubha from Kickstarter United, and to Christina for putting this together. Please support the Strike Fund. We have the link there, the GoFundMe.com. It's really easy to find them, and their link tree as well. Kickstarter United is usually, I think, Kickstarter United or KS United on social. And yeah, they're a really great organization. Obviously, we've benefited a lot from Kickstarter over many, many campaigns. Yes. And right now we are doing a campaign for Chris's game. This game we just played. So if you like the game and want to learn more, it's easy to find us. But yeah, tonight was all about showing solidarity. We have the QR code. It'll take you right there. And if you have other questions, I imagine, I don't want to speak for them, but I think some of these folks would be happy to chat with you about why they're on strike. And this is not, this is an actual play. This is a goofball adventure that had nothing to do with present circumstances whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
But please do reach out, and if you want to know more about the game, reach out to us. If you want to know more about Kickstarter United, talk to the workers. So any last words from not me, before we close it out?
Yeah, I'll just say on behalf of Kickstarter United, thanks to y'all for showing solidarity with us and for running the game. Wyatt, thank you. And Chris, I think you created something pretty cool here. And
thanks, man.
This is why we like Kickstarter. We like working for Kickstarter, and we like the work that the company does, that it enables y'all to make projects like this and have those things.
I'm really glad we could collaborate on this stream, because I think a lot of us truly do, while we're on strike, miss working directly with and helping creators like yourselves. And this is a way that we can continue to do that even if we're on strike. So we want to support y'all. Back their campaign, everyone who's watching.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we've been streaming on Twitch, on our Kickstarter United Twitch, and we have a public picket that we do during the week. Hopefully the strike won't last too much longer, but next week we will be on strike, and you're welcome to join the public picket, which you can find more information on our socials. So
we'll be playing more games. We have a live drawing. It's going to be a fun time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to Kickstarter United. And we're going to close out the stream now. But again, everybody check out the Strike Fund. And thanks for watching another realistic depiction of medieval Eurasia. Totally real stuff. Real, all the way. Super real.
This all
good night,
happened. What your history books won't teach you.
That's right. They don't want you to know. Yeah.
Revisionist history.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Why We Roll.
Our theme music is by the brilliant Sam Tyndall and Arpline.
If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find us on all social media at Stillfleet. You can find out more about Danse Macabre, Stillfleet, and all of our games over at stillfleet.com.
Hey there, Hugh from Podderation here, and if you like today's show, why not have a listen to the All Things Nintendo podcast? Hosted by Brian Shea, former director and Game Informer and lifelong games journalist, the show explores the ins and outs of gaming's oldest company and one of its biggest, featuring interviews, featuring reviews, featuring everything you want to know about the world of Nintendo. If you'd like to learn more, check out our website at podderation.com.